Hey, this is Nate again, and the attack on Joe Rogan continue. First, they tried with the misinformation thing. Then that didn't work. So then they tried with the racism thing, and that didn't work. Now they're back at it again that Joe Rogan is a right-wing lunatic podcaster. My name is Nate the Lawyer. If you are new here, we talk about the law and the facts. If you're about that life, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Now, sometimes media lies are really, really tough to kind of overcome. Like, you see my videos, Breonna Taylor, U.S. Soccer, I have to make detailed videos going into, a lot of different articles and research to show you how the media is lying to you. But when it comes to this, whether Joe Rogan is a right-wing podcaster like, what's his name? What was the guy who recently passed away? Rush Limbaugh. Is easy to disprove, right? It's easy to disprove with the evidence. So a friend of mine on Twitter, his name is Matt Orfala. Now, I've been on Matt's channel. Let me pull up Matt's channel so you guys can see it. But this is it. This is Matt's channel. Now, he does videos. He's been on Jimmy Dorn. He's been on Talk Breaking Points. He does fantastic work. The link to his Twitter is going to be in the description. And the link to his YouTube channel. I've actually debated people on his YouTube channel before.
So my question is that there is no Kyle Rittenhouse. It's you, Millennial Splint. You find yourself in a situation where, for whatever reason, you happen to be there with an AR-15, right? And you're running. And then certainly you turn around and you hear shots behind your head, bam, bam, and somebody say, "Get her!" And now you're running, right? You're running for your life. You think these people are trying to get you. You see a guy behind you, he throws a bag, and he's running and saying, "F you, I'm coming to get you," right? And then you get to a spot where you can't get away, and you turn around and the person is lunging at you, saying "F you" and lunges at you, right? Put your hands out and is about to grab the gun that you have. Are you saying you don't do anything? You just let that person, you just kind of let nature take its course and see what happens?
No, of course not.
He's a great guy. Matt is one of those people who are, I like to call him a slave to the facts, because he is a slave to the facts. And he puts together these compilation videos showing the media's inaccuracies, to say the least. So we're looking at a video that he put out because he went through all of Joe Rogan's podcast clips, and he just took out the parts of where Joe Rogan's position on were a lot of social issues. We're talking about abortion. We're talking about whether he's voting for Republicans or Democrats, all these issues. So this video is essentially just debunking all of the narrative that Joe Rogan is a right-wing podcaster. So let's see how his political ideology lines up with right-wingers, right? So I'm expecting, right, if he's this ultra right-wing conservative podcaster, he should be pro-life, not pro-choice. He should vote for Republicans. He should be against climate change, like all those issues that are right-wing. You would expect him to be for. So let's see what the media is now considering to be an ultra right-wing podcaster. All right, so let's check it out.
I really believe if Michelle Obama runs, she wins.
She's good.
She's great. She's the wife of the best president that we have had in our lifetime.
So, so this right-wing podcaster is saying that she is the wife of the best president, right, that we've ever had in our lifetime, Barack Hussein Obama. And he's not conservative. He's not a Republican. He's left-wing. So the best president of our lifetimes, according to Joe Rogan, is Barack Obama. This doesn't seem to add up if he's this ultra right-wing lunatic, right? That just doesn't make sense.
I've never voted right-wing in my life.
I never voted right-wing in my life.
Consider universal basic income a really good idea. I want free college education.
Take it easy.
Hello, Bernie.
Now, I agree and disagree in part, right? Free basic income, no, obviously not. You're just paying people to stay home. I don't agree with that. I think you have to incentivize people to go to work. So me and Joe Rogan's even left to me of those issues.
How are you, Joe?
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I like Tulsi and I like Bernie.
Now, it's interesting to know, I did vote for Bernie in the primary. So I did vote for Bernie also, because I think Bernie's a better candidate. I honestly feel like Bernie actually cares. So I did vote for Bernie, but he's not and people will say, "Oh, nature is socialist," but no, Bernie's not a socialist. He's a democratic socialist, which is not the same thing as being a socialist. And most people know that, and I think most people, if you just look at it, you know that. But ignorance is bliss.
That's it.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody else can eat shit.
Look at you, fucking progressive.
Yeah. I think I'll probably vote for Bernie. I think he's looking out for the interests of the working people. And I think he wants people to have a better life and do better. And I'm all for that. And if that means I have to pay more in tax, like people think, oh, you're a socialist. I've heard people say that. Oh, you're a fucking socialist, bro. Like, first of all, he's not even a socialist. He's a democratic socialist. It's a different thing. I would like to spend more in taxes if they could fix inner city communities and take these poor neighborhoods and throw a fuckload of them. Spend more, you fucking Republican piece of shit. 87%.
I actually agree with that too. But I also think spending more money is just not the answer sometimes. It's also how you spend the money, where the money's going, and that type of thing. So, just saying spend more money. It's throwing money at the problem doesn't always fix the problem. So I would disagree with Joe there. But I do think if you strategically put more money into depressed neighborhoods, you can build them up. So, I do agree. I agree in part and disagree in part.
Percent of scientists said that human activity is driving global warming. I'm very pro-choice.
Now, just to be clear about global warming, obviously, you put more carbon, right, carbon dioxide into the air, which we know is a greenhouse gas. We expect it to heat up the atmosphere, right? It's simple. It's not even complicated. They've known this since the 50s and the 60s, right? The first experiment, somebody put a tube, somebody filled up a tube with carbon dioxide and somebody just filled one up with just regular air. They put it in the sun and they measured the temperature and they found that, hey, guess what? The one with the carbon dioxide, that one not only gets hotter, but it stays hotter longer. So this isn't new. This isn't new. Matter of fact, the first president that we warned was like back in the 60s about global warming. So,
in 1965, scientists were confident enough to formally warn a U.S. president, Lyndon B. Johnson.
A decade later, Exxon's own scientists were making grim predictions. By 1988, it was front page news.
Global warming is a fact. Most scientists who have any intelligence in the matter knows that it's man-made. But, Joe Rogan agrees with me. So, and I think that's the left-wing position, not the right-wing position.
Very women's rights, civil rights, gay rights, trans rights. I'm even universal.
Now, that's the one thing I think. Civil rights, yes. But I think both sides are for civil rights, right? Gay rights, yes. I'm for gay rights. Trans rights, yes. Women's rights, yes. It's funny because I'm thinking, I would like to ask my conservative friends out there, when he says that, right, it makes it almost seem like the right is, or the conservative wing, is not for those things. But I don't think that's true. I think they are for them, but in a different way. When we're talking about gay rights, are we specifically talking about gay marriage? Because I know a lot of my conservative friends would be against gay marriage. But gay rights, the right to love who you want to do, I think my conservative friends would be for that. So it's interesting. I don't think it's just as easy as I'm for these things and these people are against them. I think it's a more nuanced piece than that. But I would agree. I am just like Joe in that sense, where I'm for all those things, gay rights, blah, blah. So, I think I'm for them in the same way that he's trying to convey it to.
Universal health care. Obviously, this
the universal health care too, I'm for. Right? It's just stupid not to have it. I don't know why we don't have it.
Protected status is driving me crazy. This thing that Trump's doing with children that were born in other countries and then brought over here as children, and then they're talking about deporting them. That drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
that kind of shit. And the hard right version of that is despicable. These people that I see online, why didn't they apply for citizenship? Oh, who knows? Maybe because they're fucking 13. I don't give a fuck if they broke the law. You don't take parents and kids and separate them. You just fucking don't. You know Alonzo?
No, who's that?
A funny comedian.
Yeah.
He said, he goes, not all Donald Trump supporters are racist,
Yeah.
but all racists are Donald Trump supporters.
He definitely awakened that side.
But
Now, the one thing I do want to take issue with that, right? And again, I'm just going to just give my thoughts cold. That statement, I think, is inflammatory for both sides. Let me explain. I think there's racists on both the left and the right, right? I've met people who are racist on the left, and I've met people who are racist on the right. And yes, I agree, there are racists who voted for Donald Trump, but I think there are going to be racists who vote for a left-wing candidate. And to try to pretend that to be racist, you only can be, the left wing is not racist, but it's the conservatives that are all racist. I don't think that's accurate. Now, if we're talking about scale and scope, if we're talking about, people in hoods and, the KKK, they're all voting for Republicans, right? Let's just not be stupid about it, right? The people who want to suppress black people in the South, right? They're voting Republicans, right? Those people who believe that I should be a slave, right? Those people aren't voting for the Democrats. They're voting for the Republicans. But on other issues, there are black people who are racist. There are Hispanic people who are racist. And there are white people who are racist. So, yeah, are the KKK voting for Donald Trump? Yes, in mass, right? They're not voting Democrat. But on the back end, are the Antifa people voting for Trump? No, right? So I think that's a good thing to say to a liberal crowd, but I think it's not being honest with the actual facts out there. So I don't know. It's, let me know what you think in the comment section. I think he's wrong on that. I do think though, if you're just saying racism in terms of right wing, the alt-right radicals who are on the extreme, who say, yes, black people should be, are not human, and those people are voting for Republicans. If the argument is that only racists vote Republican, I don't think that's accurate.
The January 6th thing is important.
See, it is important,
And
but is it the 6 months later? Should be the ruling number one conversation of journalists?
I think it's really important. And one of the reasons why I think it's important because it highlights the reasons why a guy like Donald Trump is so fucking dangerous. Is because a guy can incite a bunch of morons to do something really fucking stupid. But as far as trans people, some trans people listening to this, I got nothing but love for you. For everybody. And in fact, Eddie Izzard is one of my all-time favorite guests.
Oh, I love Izzard.
The right-wing thing is just an easy way to dismiss me, because I'm not right-wing. I can't recommend your book, Race Matters, enough.
There's a liberal icon. Things like this can be fact-checked immediately, right? This got 1.7 million views. You can fact-check this immediately. And there are going to be so many people out there who are going to say that he's a right-wing racist and not know that he's actually supporting most of the positions that the left-wing non-racist, quote-unquote non-racist support. So he's right. It's just a way to smear him. So let me show you this other video that Matt did. So this is the second video he did. It's got some of the same clips of the other ones, but what he does is that he actually takes the left-wing propaganda and contrasts it to what Joe Rogan is saying. So you see it flipping on the board. So let's start from the beginning. Let's check this out.
I really believe if Michelle Obama runs, she wins.
Joe Rogan is a racist conspiracy theorist.
She's good. She's great.
Rogan is the racist, sexist douchebag of the first order.
She's the wife of the best president that we have had.
You see what I'm talking about, right? You see how the narrative, even though all this evidence is out there, they're still telling people this because most people aren't going to watch this shit, right? Most people are going to believe what they're told, and that's what this channel's about. Don't just believe what they fucking tell you.
In our lifetime,
Joe Rogan is a racist. Now I see why Republicans love him.
I've never voted right wing in my life.
He's a total right winger.
I want free college education.
Take it easy. He never has any real left wingers on.
Now, isn't this funny? He's sitting there with a straight face, lying. So he's got millions of, I don't have millions of followers. I don't have millions of people. He has millions of people. And he's straight out lying to them, saying he never has anyone on who's left wing. He's been on the show. There it is.
Bring on fake left wingers.
Hello, Bernie.
He's a fake left winger.
The radical right.
Joe Rogan put on Bernie Sanders. He's a fake left winger. Just to show you, it's easy, so easy to just lie to people, and they will believe the lie. And this is good right on. This is the right and left wing. They both believe this. The bullshit, right? Trump still won the election. Trump still won the election. I still hear that crap. Like, yeah, really, really. After 60 court cases and no evidence of any fraud and blah, 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 Trump still won the election. Really? Really? Yeah, come on. So if you're on the right, they do it too. They're just as bad as the left. And this is David Pakman. He's one of the biggest left-wing people here on YouTube. And Joe Rogan actually says, go watch this guy. So this is a right-wing nut.
Loves and lives for Joe Rogan.
I like Tulsi and I like Bernie. That's it.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody else can eat shit.
Look at you, fucking...
Supported by white nationalists, supported by bot trolls, supported by Russians.
Joe Rogan, I don't think has ever met a trans person until recently.
In fact, Eddie Izzard is one of my all-time favorite guests.
Oh, I love Izzard.
So he's really cultivating this narrative that trans women are indeed predators.
Do you see? You see how bad this is? This isn't close to bad. This is just, again, people are just literally just lying on him, right? This is just, they're literally making it up because they want to keep people deaf, dumb, and blind to the truth, right? Joe Rogan is left wing. He's left wing. But why? Because it's good to have a story saying that he's right wing. This is the guy that hosts Secular Talk, another extremely left wing show. This guy's a left winger. He's on Joe Rogan. So, yeah.
Wing propaganda.
I think I'll probably vote for Bernie.
Joe Rogan is more of the bro portion of that conservative movement.
I don't give a fuck if they broke the law. You don't take parents and kids and separate them. You just fucking don't.
A chronic purveyor of right-wing hate.
I would like to spend more in taxes if they could fix inner city communities and take these poor neighborhoods and
We
throw a
spent a lot
fuckload
on
of them. Spend more, you fucking Republican piece of shit.
This is what Limbaugh used to say.
A chronic purveyor of right-wing lies.
87% of scientists said that human activity is driving global warming.
So he's purveying right-wing lies. That's a right-wing lie.
Rogan serves the same purpose as Rush Limbaugh.
I'm very pro-choice.
A modern-day Rush Limbaugh.
Women's rights, civil rights.
Conservative radio host Joe Rogan.
Gay rights, trans rights.
A far-right influencer.
I'm even universal health care.
Just a full-blown conservative right-winger.
Open racism for years. If you like Joe Rogan, I am going to assume you are racist. Joe Rogan very much benefits the neo-fascist alt-right.
I can't recommend your book, Race Matters, enough.
Orf. Great stuff, bro. So, now that you know the truth, what are you going to do? Let's stop feeding into the narrative. A quick little search online and you can find out that everything that they've been saying about Joe Rogan are lies. Are lies. Just because he questioned the narrative on COVID. And now, for me, as someone who I consider myself to be center-left, I honestly, most of the positions that Joe Rogan holds, I agree with, right? If me and Joe Rogan probably are voting the same way most of the time. We agree with most of the same thing. Climate change. I agree with them, right? Gay rights, human rights, all these things that he said. He's even 2A. I'm the only way I think we'd separate. Well, no, we don't separate. Joe Rogan is pro 2A. I am pro 2A. I think most people who are anti 2A just don't understand it. They're we're afraid of guns. I'm one of those people where if somebody comes knocks down this door with a gun, I want to be able to respond to that, right? That's how I am. I believe owning a gun and being able to protect yourself is not only just a right in the United States, it should be a human right. You should be able to protect yourself. That may make us radical right wings, but let me know in the comment section. Or has this surprised you? Did you know that Joe Rogan held these views? Did you know that this was the person he was? Or did you buy into the media narrative also? I'd like to know. And with that, I'll see you next time. Peace.